all, welcome back to Pabbly Connect. So in this video, we are going to understand how to create Shopify order on SwipePages form submissions. So are you also using these two applications for your business? Then this video is definitely for you. So over here, I'm doing the same. I'm running a store which sells Grooming Kit on their landing pages with the help of SwipePages. So we have two payment options over there. One is online payment and one is cash on delivery. So I'm going to create this automation for the people who opt for cash on delivery. So what I want is, as soon as someone opts for cash on delivery, they are going to redirect it to a form, and as soon as they are going to fill in that form, automatically with the help of the same details, a new order should be created on my Shopify account too. So to do this, we are going to create a connection between SwipePages and Shopify. To create this connection without knowing any programming or coding language, we are going to use Pabbly Connect. It is an amazing automation software. So do you also wish to learn this process step by step? Then let me take you to my computer screen. Welcome to my screen. So as you know, in this video, we are going to understand how to create a Shopify order on SwipePages form submission. So as you know that I'm running a store that sells grooming kits through a landing page on SwipePages. So now customer gets two options to make the payment. One is cash on delivery and the another one is online payment. So I want to automate the creation of Shopify order, ensuring a smooth order process without additional steps. This setup enhances the customer experience by simplifying the checkout process for cash on delivery orders, ultimately increasing the conversion rates and customer satisfaction. So to do all of this, I have simply opened the landing page of Pabbly by searching pabbly.com/connect in my browser. It is very easy. So as soon as we're going to open the landing page of Pabbly, we are going to get two options. One is sign in and the another one is sign up for free. So if you're a new user, you can click on sign up for free and you're going to get 100 of tasks free every month. But I'm an existing user, so I'm going to click on sign in right over here. And as soon as we're going to click on sign in, it is opening all Pabbly apps. Over here you can see all the tools and applications offered by Pabbly. But in today's video, we are going to use Pabbly Connect because we are connecting different applications. So I'm going to click on access now right over here to access my Pabbly Connect account. And as soon as we are going to click on access now, it is opening my dashboard. And to start with this automation, we have to click on this button which says create workflow. And now it is asking me the workflow name and the folder I want to save the workflow in. So I want to save the workflow in this folder which is automations, and over here on my dashboard you can see multiple folders which I've previously created to save my workflows in. So if you wish to create a new folder or a subfolder, you can click on this learn more hyperlink given right over here. And now it is asking me for the workflow name. So I want the name of my workflow to be how to create Shopify orders on SwipePages form submission, and then we are going to click on create. And as soon as we are going to click on create, it is opening the most important window of our automation, which is our workflow window. So this is the most important window because we have trigger and action in this. Trigger means when this happens and action means do this. So by this you can understand that the trigger is the commander for the workflow and actions follow the commands. And as you know that we can have only a single commander but multiple followers. So where we can have only a single trigger but multiple actions following the commands of our trigger. And by this you can understand that the trigger commands the workflow and the actions are response towards that same command. And in order to start with our automation, we have to select our trigger application. So for my trigger application, I'm going to select it as SwipePages right over here because I want that as soon as a new form submission is made in my SwipePages, automatically my workflow should be triggered. So I'm going to search for it and then we are going to select it. And now for the trigger event, we are going to select it as new form submission. And as soon as we're going to do so, it is giving me a webhook URL. So we're going to use this same webhook URL in order to create a connection between our SwipePages account and our Pabbly's workflow. So what we are going to do is first we are going to copy this webhook URL and then we have to follow this help text. So it is saying log into your SwipePages account. So I'm going to open my SwipePages account, and over here you can see that I've already created a landing page. So the first step is to create a landing page, but I've already created one, and the next step is this. So I've already completed both of these steps. Directly we are going to move on towards this step which is saying go to dashboard and click on edit the landing page. Now navigate to the integrations and click on create new workflow. So I'm going to open my SwipePages. We have to go on this SwipePages and then we have to open our page. And as soon as we're going to do so, over here you can see integrations. So we have to go on this integrations and then we have to click on this get started. And as soon as we're going to click on this get started, over here you can see two workflows which I've previously created. But I'm going to create a new. For that I'm going to click on create new workflow. It is saying give a name to your workflow. So let's suppose that I'm going to keep the name as testing right over here, and then we are going to click on next. And as soon as we're going to click on next, it is saying drag and drop a trigger to start the workflow. So as I told you right now that the trigger is the commander for the workflow, So over here we have to drop the same. So what I want is that as soon as a new form is submitted, automatically my workflow should be started or triggered. So I've selected form submitted as trigger right over here too in my swipe pages, and now we are going to click on click to setup right over here, and now it is asking me for the page. So I'm going to click on selected pages, and I'm going to select the page which I've already created and click on next. So I want that if the form submission is made through this page, only then my workflow should be triggered. And now we are going to add the action 2, which is send webhook. So I'm going to add it right over here, and we're going to connect both of these, and then again we're going to click on click to setup on action, and now it is asking me for the webhook URL. So we're going to paste the URL which we copied from our workflow, and after pasting this, it is asking me for the method. So here you can see that it is saying we have to select post as a method. So I'm going to select post only right over here, and as you can see that over here I've already selected the webhook body, which is the key and the values. So these are the details I'm going to receive in my response. So I have to select this one by one right from here. And after doing all of this, I'm going to click on save changes. And as soon as we're going to click on save changes, yes, we have successfully created this workflow. And now what we're going to do is we are going to activate this workflow right over here. So I'm going to activate this workflow. And yes, you can see your workflow is successfully activated. So yes, we have successfully activated this workflow. And with this, we have successfully created a new workflow. Right over here, you can see testing. And with this, we have successfully connected our SwipePages account with our Pabbly's workflow. But over here, you can see that it is saying waiting for webhook response, and the notes it is saying now log into the application where you have added the webhook URL and do the test submission / record. So in order to capture this webhook response, we have to do a test submission or record. And in order to do this test submission, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open my SwipePages. Over here we are going back to our sites, and over here we are going to open this form, and as soon as we're going to open this, you can see the URL. So I'm going to open the URL right from here, and as you can see that this is the page where we have the option of prepaid order and cash on delivery. So we're going to create this automation for cash on delivery. That's why I've selected SwipePages in my trigger, because I've attached a SwipePages behind this as pop-up. And for prepaid, I redirect my customers to Razorpay. So I'm going to open this cash on delivery right from here, and as you can see the details it is asking for. So I'm going to fill in the details as full name, demo user. Over here you can see the email demo@pabblytudes.com. You can see the phone number, the delivery address, the city, zip code, state and country. And after entering all the details, I'm going to click on submit, and as soon as we are going to click on submit, yes, you can see that we have successfully submitted this, and with this we have successfully did the test submission too. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to open my workflow and check that if Pabbly has captured the response of this test submission or not. So I'm going to open my workflow, and yes, you can see that Pabbly has captured response A, and over here are the same details which we entered in our test submission. You can see the full name, you can see the phone, you can see the state, you can see the zip code. Over here you can see the email, delivery address, country and city. So yes, with this we have successfully completed our trigger step, and we have successfully received the response too. So now what will happen is that as soon as a new form submission is made in my SwipePages, automatically I'm going to receive the response for the same right over here, and my workflow would be triggered. So now with this we have successfully completed our trigger step, and now we're going to move on towards our action step. So further what I want is that as soon as a new form submission is made, automatically a new order should be created in my Shopify account. So I'm going to select my action application as Shopify right over here. So I'm going to search for Shopify right over here, and as you can see the same, so we are going to select it. And now for the action event, we are going to select it as create order, and then we are going to click on connect. And as soon as we are going to click on connect, again it is asking me for the same, add a new connection or select the existing connection. So if you have already connected your Shopify account with a Pabbly's workflow, you can click on select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection, and now it is asking me for the API access token and the subdomain. So to get this, we are going to follow the help text, and it is saying to generate the API access token, log into your Shopify account, navigate to apps section, go on apps and channel settings, click on the developers app, and then click on create a app. So I have to follow the same. I'm going to open my Shopify account right from here, and now from the left sidebar you can see apps. So we have to go on this apps, and after opening this apps, you can see app and sales channel settings. So we have to go on this, and as soon as we're going to open this, you can see develop apps. So we have to go on this. You can see all the apps I've already created, but I'm going to create a new. For that, I'm going to click on create an app, and now it is asking me for the app name. So let's suppose that I'm going to keep the app name as testing right over here. So I'm going to enter it and click on create app, and as soon as we're going to click on create app right over here, yes, you can see that we have created this. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on configure admin API scopes, and as soon as we're going to do so, you can see that over here it is asking me for some permissions. So over here you can see that there's a hyperlink of learn more. So I'm going to open this hyperlink, and as soon as you're going to open this hyperlink, you're going to get step-by-step guide guide how you can connect this Shopify account and get this API access token. So in that video, you're going to learn what permissions you have to select. Over here, I'm going to select all the permissions. So yes, you can see that I've selected all the permissions right over here. If you wish, you can definitely select fewer or which are required. I have selected all to avoid any authentication issue right over here. So now after selecting all of this, I'm going to click on save. And as soon as we are going to click on save right over here, yes, you can see configuration saved. So yes, we have successfully did this. And now what we have to do is we have to go in this API credentials, and then we have to click on this button which is install app. And again, we are going to click on install. And as soon as we are going to click on install, over here you can see the admin API access token. So I'm going to click on reveal token once, and then we're going to copy this token and paste it right over here in our workflow. And after pasting this admin API access token, it is asking me for the subdomain. And to get this subdomain, again, we're going to open our Shopify account. And as you can see that this is my Shopify account. So what we have to do is from the left sidebar, you can see online store. So I'm going to click on view your online store right over here. And as soon as we're going to click on this, you can see over here is the URL. So we have to copy this URL right from here after clicking on view your online store. And then we have to paste the URL right over here in our workflow. So it is saying enter your Shopify store subdomain here. Example, like your Shopify store website is this, then your subdomain would be demo. So over here you can see that my subdomain would be before myshopify.com and after https and slash. So I have to erase both of this right from here, and as you can see that this is my subdomain. So I've entered it right over here, and then we are going to click on save. And as soon as we are going to click on save, yes, you can see that we have successfully connected our Shopify account with our Pabbly's workflow. And now it is asking me for the email address. So I'm going to map this. Mapping is a method by Pabbly which means inserting the data from the previous step. And as you know, our previous step was the trigger step where we selected SwipePages as our trigger application. So we're going to map the details from the response of our trigger application only. And as soon as we're going to map these details, automatically my details will turn dynamic and change with every new response received. So I'm going to give you an example that it is asking me for the email address, right? So let's suppose that I'm going to enter the email address right over here manually by typing it like this. Then this will not change with every new response received because this is a static information and I've entered it manually. But if you're going to map this from the previous response, suppose I'm going to look for email in my previous response, and as you can see the same. So let's suppose that we're going to map this from the previous response, then this will definitely change because my previous response will also change. So that's why we do mapping right over here to run our workflow in real time. And now it is asking me for the product ID. So over here you can see that I want to create this automation for my product, which is this. I'm going to show you the product too. As you can see that this is the product, so I'm going to select the same product right over here, which is premium men's cosmetics, and I'm going to select this product ID right from here. And now it is saying product variant ID. I'm going to select it as default title. We are going to move on forward. It is saying product quantity. So over here I'm going to keep it as 1 because only a single product is allowed to purchase from my SwipePages. And now we're going to move on forward. It is saying product title. So I'm going to open my product right from here in my Shopify account. You can see that this is my product title. So I'm going to copy this right from here, and then we're going to paste it over here in our workflow under the product title. And now it is saying product price. So you can see the price of my product is 500 rupees. I'm going to look for it. You can see 500. So we're going to select the same right over here, which is 500.00. We're going to move on forward. It is saying weight in grams. So it is asking me for the weight of the product. So over here you can see that I've kept it as 300 grams. So I'm going to select it as 300 only right over here too. We're going to move on forward. It is saying notes. So if you wish, you can definitely add one right over here. It is saying discount type. So if you wish, you can definitely do it. It is saying discount amount. So if you're going to add a discount type, you can definitely add discount amount and code. But I don't wish to do so. So I'm going to move on forward. It is asking me for the tags. So over here, I wish to keep the tags as this. You have to enter your tag ID. And if you wish to add more than one tags, you can enter comma separated array of the tag IDs. So now after doing this, we are going to move on forward. It is asking me for many details. If you wish, you can select all of these details one by one. I'm going to keep it as same only. We are going to move on forward. It is saying shipping title. So whether it is asking me for the shipping title, so I'm going to select it as standard shipping only. So I'm going to copy this right from here and paste it over here. If in your case it is express delivery, so you have to select that. And now it is asking me for the shipping price. So as I mentioned in my website, the shipping price for cash on delivery orders is 50. So I'm going to enter 50 right over here. We are going to move on forward. It is saying shipping address, first name, last name, company, phone, address, and many other details. So again, we are going to map map these details. So it is saying name, so I'm going to look for name right over here, and as you can see that we have the full name of our customer, not the first name and last name, but over here it is asking me for the first name and last name. So what we have to do is we have to split the first name and last name from our full name, and in order to split this we are going to add a action step right between our trigger and action. So I'm going to click on this add button right over here, and now for my action application I'm going to select it as text formatter by Pabbly. So it is a feature by Pabbly which helps you to format your text. And now for the action event I'm going to select it as split text because I want to split full name into first name and last name. Again we are going to click on connect, and now it is asking me for the text to split. So I'm going to map the full name right over here, which is demo user. It is saying separator. So in the help text you can see that it is saying enter the characters or word separators to split the text. For space as separator, use space. So yes, over here I want to use space as my separator, so I'm going to copy this right from here and paste it right over here as my separator. And now it is asking me for the segment index, so I'm going to select it as all. And after doing all of this I'm going to click on save and send test request, and as soon as we're going to do so, yes, you can see the first name and the last name separated. So now I'm going to map this only. I'm going to open my Shopify right from here. We are going to move on towards the name. So we're going to map this first name from the response of our text formatter by Pabbly. You can see demos. We are going to map it. Same we are going to do for the last name. We are going to open the response of our text formatter by Pabbly and then map user. It is saying company. So over here I'm going to look for company. As you can see that we don't have the details of the company, so I'm going to leave it as blank. We are going to move on forward. It is saying phone. So yes, we have the details of the phone. So as you can see the same, so we are going to map it. It is saying address. Yes, we have the address. You can see the same, so we are going to map it. We are going to move on forward. Yes, we have the city. We are going to map the city. You can see Bhopal. We are going to map it. We are going to map the country too, which is India. Over here we are going to map the state too. I'm going to search for state right over here, and as you can see Madhya Pradesh, so we are going to map it. It is saying zip, so yes, we have the zip too, so I'm going to map zip, which is this. So yes, with this we have successfully mapped the shipping too, and now we are going to map the billing address, first name, last name and everything too. Again we are going to look for the same details. As you can see, we are going to map the first name and last name from the response of our text formatter by Pabbly. We are going to map the last name user. Again we are going to map all of the same details. Yes, so now again after mapping all of these details as billing address, we are going to move on forward. You can see that it is asking me for many another details. So where it is saying is taxable, so I'm going to keep it as false right over here, and if you keep it as true you have to enter these details too. So now after entering all the details I'm going to click on save and send test request, and as soon as we are going to click on save and send test request right over here, yes, you can see that we have received a positive response. You can see the order ID which we have created. Over here you can see the contact email and many another details. So yes, with this we have successfully created a new order in our Shopify account. So I'm going to open my Shopify and check for the new order created. So I'm going to open my Shopify account right from here. So we have to go on orders from the left side bar, and as soon as we're going to open the orders, yes, you can see that we have successfully created a new order right over here. So I'm going to open this order and check for the details which we added. Yes, you can see over here is the same product. You can see the same details. You can see the email. You can see the same shipping address, and yes, you can see the same shipping charges and the grams, which is the weight of the product which we added. So yes, with this we have successfully created a new order in our Shopify account with the help of same details. So yes, with this we have successfully completed our workflow, but I'll just test this workflow once. So what we are going to do is I'm going to open my SwipePages again, and we are going to do another test submission with the new details, and this time we will not going back to our workflow and click on save and send test request. I want to check that if this workflow is running in real time or not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this cash on delivery option again. We're going to fill in the new details this time. So what I'm going to fill it as the full name test user, email as testuser222@pabblytunes.com, where you can see the phone number and rest of the details. And now I'm going to click on submit, and as soon as we're going to do so, yes, you can see that we have successfully submitted this form. And now after submitting this form, what has happened is that SwipePages has sent the details of our test submission to our workflow. Pabbly captured the response, triggered the workflow, and further created a new order in our Shopify account. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open my Shopify account and check for the new order created, and this time we are not going back to our workflow and clicking on save and send test request. I directly open my Shopify account right from here. We are going to go on orders again and check for the new order created, and yes, you can see a new order has been created. So I'm going to open this right from here, and as soon as we're going to do so, yes, you can see all the details which we entered. You can see the same phone number, same email, same name. It is saying review address issue. So yes, you can see that I've entered a dummy address, so that's why it is showing this right over here. If your customers are going to fill in the real address, then you are not going to get this. So yes, you can see all the same details and the new order created. So yes, with this we have successfully completed our workflow, and I'll just summarize this workflow for you once. So for a trigger application, we selected SwipePages. For the trigger event, we selected new form submission. For the action application, we selected Shopify and text formatter by Pabbly, because I wanted that as soon as a new form is submitted in my SwipePages account, automatically an order should be created in my Shopify with the help of the same details. And yes, we were successful with our workflow. Over here you can see the 2 orders I created during this video with the help of my workflow. So yes, this was it for the video, and if you have any questions related to the video or the workflow, you can directly comment on this video. And for your reference, I'll just clone this workflow and share the workflow link in the description box so that you can access my workflow. I hope this video was helpful for you. Thank you for watching. Not only these applications, but with the help of Pabbly, you can integrate many more applications. So now if you have any doubts, you can reach us at support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can reach us at forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issues, you can follow this website. And if you find our videos helpful, do like and subscribe our channel. Thank you for watching.